50 Yo, tired, sell properties? We've built up a lot of equity over 8 rental properties. We are tired of managing them and wonder if anyone has gotten to the point where they've decided to sell and reallocate their profits somewhere else, e.g. stock market index funds. We are anywhere from 14 to 51 LTV on any given property. If sold and after taxes approximately 1.4 meters in equity. We can snowball payments and pay off everything in about 10 years with $100K coming in each year. Otherwise, paying minimum, we'd have another 25 years to pay loans. Thoughts? Any chance that you have someone close that you could train to run things for you? Seems like a win-win. I'm 57 and still love managing my properties. Sounds like a candidate for a seller-financed sale. That will relieve you of the headache of running the properties without forcing you to find an alternative investment to provide you with an income stream. I am a little younger but in a very similar situation. The thing that stops me selling is the tax hit. With the death of the office market and challenges in retail, there's no easy place to put the profits as 1031 exchange. Would love to see what people think today are the best options on rolling a portfolio over to. My tax exposure on selling is 7 figures. And are currently invested in a flat market. So no reasonable expectation they would increase beyond inflation and may be lucky to keep pace with inflation. Maybe you need a better property manager? They should be able to do pretty much everything. That's what they're paid for. I just sold 40 of my portfolio. While the market's hot. No loans left. Unfortunately, going to pay the taxes. Currently have the proceeds in a 5.7 CD. I'm in my early 50s. Timing's right for me to pull some profits off the table. Only time will tell if this was the best decision. I understand everyone saying keep the rentals. Personally, I would seriously think about selling the 2 most problematic places and see how it goes. Nothing wrong with downshifting a bit as you get older. Then a couple years later look at the next most problematic places and sell them. I manage our properties professionally and can tell you since I've implemented technology it's reduced my workload by at least 1 order of magnitude. I'd be happy to give you some pointers if you send me a message. Hire a property manager and or 1031 exchange into an apartment or triple net. Giving up 810 to a property manager seem worth it to me. I suggest selling off the least appealing ones and paying off the others so it's 100 income for you going forward and have PM manage it and you just enjoy the cash flow. I have 3 rentals and they're pretty much hands off. I spend a couple weeks to put a tenant in place. They move in and pay rent. And that's about it. Get a call like once a year for some random service thing that I just call a plumber or order a new appliance for. Snowball down or sell just 1 or 2 to pay off the rest, lease option or owner finance, sell them. Collect payments. Don't sell outright all in the same year unless you are ready for the tax bill. This is an easy answer. Don't manage your properties anymore. If 8 units is giving you a hard time, then TBH you either need to think about vetting your tenants harder and or potentially tweaking your model towards a more higher-end portfolio. JM2C 1.4M in 5 CDs would return $70,000 year. You could lock that in now for 2, 3 or 5 years. Then figure out how to invest long-term in something with better returns. Property management, anyone? Don't see it recommended a lot. I'm curious why that is. I had a client in a similar situation. He was able to do a like-kind exchange and invest in a commercial building, avoiding paying all the capital gains on the sale of the homes. He owns a small share of a 20-story building in Oklahoma City. He's never seen the property and just gets a K1 at the end of the year, so taxes are simple. Not really recommending commercial real estate at the moment, but it's something to potentially look into. Check out a charitable remainder unitrust, avoids cap gains on the sale and get 6 of the trust value for life and get your name on a building at your alma mater. Could seller finance it all to someone at a fixed rate? Would count as installment over time, so the taxes would be a lot less and the interest can offset it even further. And worse that happens, he gets a decent deposit and takes a few properties back. Best case, he makes a multiple on his invested money versus losing a bunch to capital gain. My dad retired at 70 and sold his 2-family in a bad part of NYC and bought 2 Airbnbs in Orlando. He does 0 work and gets paid every month. If you don't 1031, you will be subject to large taxes, including depreciation, recapture, and probably the top tax bracket for profits. GLTA. Delaware statutory trusts is a possibility? 1031 one at a time and move into them and convert to your primary residence to avoid capital gains. I would say keep them and hire a PM to manage it for you to keep your cash flow for retirement. Oof, reading all the comments here. I will not own more than 2 real estate. Have you considered selling as a portfolio and purchasing a low-maintenance property? $1.4 mm of equity should be able to buy you a nice NNN lease where you have to do nothing. Personally, I'd wait until rates come down a bit. There are companies that do it for you. They take 12 if you don't make enough money on your properties to pay the company to manage them. It's time to sell. You have to do what's best for you. I think majority of people get tired of dealing with other people, their foolishness. Anyways, if you want to keep the properties, then hire a property manager. Best to you. Sell any low-paying rentals, buy rentals that are in the $2,500 a month range. You only need 4 to make $120,000 a year, and the best thing is what I've found, the more the rent is, the more responsible the renter is, so the less problems you will have. I do an application and background check. I only show the houses to people who pass both. They can look at the pics I post on the ad. With only 4 rentals with high rents, you don't have much turnover. IDK good age and good time to sell given the fears in the short term. Just depends on when you want to retire and what that million will get you versus what you need. As a financial planner, I can tell you that mathematically speaking, if you have paid down 50 off your mortgage on a rental, you can sell and invest the proceeds into a balanced index fund, and with an expect long-term average 6 ROI, you will do substantially better than holding onto that real estate. You want to keep them, you will be glad you did. Don't be discouraged, tired of it. Sell your current home. Live in one of your rentals for 2 years. Then sell it as your primary residence. Then do the same for another. In 20 years you will have sold all of them, gained equity, and don't have to pay in capital gains taxes. I think that will work. Can someone confirm? I'm concerned that you're about to jump from the frying pan to the fire. Yeah, real estate takes work, but the appreciation real estate should and probably will continue to outpace the stock market. But if you put all that in the market tanks? Hire a property manager or 1031 into something bigger with a manager. I've done both and life is much better. Sell on contract. What are you going to do with $1.4 million? It's not really enough to retire on. You probably won't get safe returns of $100,000 in the stock market. Hire a property manager.